everybody know that it's okay to not be okay. But it's also not okay to stay not okay. You can get stuck for a little bit, right? But it always gets better. You always can push through. And I promise you that 99.999999999, if not 100% of your problems, you're not the only one who's ever been through it. I know in the moment you feel like it's you, your whole world is crumbling at your feet and life is, oh my God. But I promise you, it's probably not the worst thing someone's going through in the world either. There's always ways for it to be worse. So that's why I do the show, because we've all had our moments where we feel alone and low and life is just hard, right? So these guys get on here and they give you all different life lessons. I let my guests pick their topic, and Uma's is great today because it's listen to your body. And I've been ignoring my body, and I know that having her talk about this, I'm going to kick my own self in the derriere. But I also know that when people pick topics, sometimes it's because I need to hear it, not just you guys, right? So that being said, I'm Scott. I am still sick. My eyes are watering. My nose is running. I'm coughing. I for those of you guys new here, let's see, this winter, I've been sick every week. Like I might feel not sick for a couple days, but by the end of the week, I'm sick again. I can't, I don't know. So we're going to be going to the doctor. Okay. When I get back from Florida, I will be calling doctors. Anyways, Q and Q. I never think of the future. It comes soon enough. I never think of the future. It comes soon enough. What do you hope the future holds for you? And realistically, the only thing that I find myself really wishing I had more so was stability. I know that that's part of my job, and some months are great, some months are bad, but the bad months get hard, right? So stability, that's all. You know, I mean, that's about like the shortest, sweetest, simple answer I can give. You know, of course, I can go into the, I want to get married. I'm done having babies. I want grandbabies. I want to travel. I want to travel everywhere. I want to get my passport and I want to visit every country, every state in here, Canada. Like I want to go everywhere. I want to see what else this world has to offer, because the more I travel, the more I realize how different everywhere really is. Like we're the same, but we're different, right? And I love to see how other people live. I love to learn new recipes. I love to see the different traditions. So I want to travel. So yes, I mean, obviously stability. So we'll say for me, if you're just tuning in, guys, I'm answering the question, what do you hope the future holds for you? And for me, stability and travel. Maybe a man, but I'll be really happy with the first two. You know what I mean? Like, I would be really happy with the first two. The third would be a bonus, because believe you me, if I pick you, you should feel extremely special, because I am very picky. Very picky. And that means that I'm going to have to learn how. Have y'all, anybody else, ever not dated for so long that you don't, it's like I don't even want to try. Like I'm terrified to even try to date. It's literally been years and years. And I don't even know where to start. Like obviously, yeah, you know, meet somebody on here, they take you out to eat, but like the thought of having to get ready, go out to eat, small talk with a stranger makes me nauseous. So cheers. Cheers. All right. Uma, you about ready, darling? KD, thank you again. Oh, my Lanta. All right, here we go.
Good morning.
Oh, how are you?
I'm good. I'm here.
I always love seeing you. Every time your name pops up, I get excited. So I'm not gonna lie, I was having a hard time this week, and I almost canceled the show this week and next week because of vacation. And then I seen Uma all up in there and was like, "All right, we can't cancel because we have some of the best conversations." So be ready.
Run the whole show. Like we could run a show for a whole month.
Yeah.
We got lots to talk about, guys. We got lots to talk about. Everybody, welcome in. Welcome to the Silly Lily Show. This is the place to be on Fridays at 10 a.m. Hit her with a fave. Drop those gifts. Let's get it crawling.
Thank you. So, Uma, I guess let's go ahead right now. We'll dive in. You know how I kind of run things here. For those of you that don't, we're going to talk the topic. And after we talk all this stuff, I'll be asking some stuff about Uma. She might have some other, I know she's got some shows. She's got lots of awesome shows. So stay tuned and she will tell you all about that at the end.
Absolutely. All right. Today, my lesson is the lesson of listening to your body. Because I had something very significant happen just 4 weeks ago, literally with the beginning of 2026. It just came in with 2026. And I said, you got to be kidding me, because I just never thought it would happen to me. So at the beginning of January, I went for my regular mammogram and they found a mass.
Oh my God.
And after all the testing, I am diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Because if you know anything about Uma, I just don't take what life dishes, okay? So immediately I went into shock, because I think that the biggest thing is, like, in my head, I'm like, how me, right? I'm the most positive, upbeat person. I'm all about motivating and inspiring others with their lives. I live pretty healthily. You know, I'm going through the changes, the older lady's changes. So there's that, but I'm doing pretty good. I'm like, there's no way out of my lifestyle that I could get this thing. So the past few weeks have been like a series of testings, you know, like we had to get a CAT scan and a bone scan, and we had to test my blood for genetics, and we had to get an ultrasound and all these testings. But it was like, it really dawned on me, kind of like Lily, I'm a product of the single mom blues, you know, the single mom lifestyle, where you just work. But the problem is all of that leads to exhaustion. And that exhaustion allows other things to creep in, right? So in learning about my diagnosis, I am healer. For those of you that don't know what I do outside of work here, I'm a healer. So I started immediately going into my healing techniques. The first thing was to eliminate stress, right? Because stress creates inflammation in the body. When you're inflamed, it's going to make whatever you're suffering with that much harder. So a lot of this app had to go with eliminating stress. Now, I'm like Lily. This is why I love her so much, because I'm going to say what I'm going to say. There's a bunch of people on this app that are very negative, that do things, and I decided to say something about it. So now I'm getting all the heat. I heard my name was brought up several times last night in Say It With Your Chest. That's fine. That's great. Y'all could duke it out, but you're not going to get to me, because my mental is only focused on healing and getting better. And that was one of the big changes I made. I'm going to keep saying what I'm going to say, same way like Lily does. And the second part of this, I'm going to engage with you. You take it how you want to take it. That is your responsibility as a human being.
Right. And I kind of like something I remind my kid a lot, right? Like, you can say or you can do something to make one person happy. You can alter something about yourself to make a person or a group of people even happy, right? Like, they don't like how you dress, so you change how you dress. Well, guess what? Now that group over there doesn't like how you dress. So what are you going to do? You can't dress both ways at the same time. So my question would then be, why are you trying to be other people? Just be yourself. Like, find, you know, it's staying true to yourself, I guess, has been my biggest thing, I think, lately. It's been hard on this app.
It's hard on this app because I'm always going to be a loyal person to people that I consider as friends. If I'm here and I hear somebody talking about Lily, I've never met Lily, but in my mind, Lily's my friend. So I'm going to say something and I'm going to defend my friend. I don't care how people take it. And I think on this app too, just as a sidebar, I think there's a lot of people that want to be liked so much that they're willing to go down on their morals and their ethics just to be liked or to fit in. And I've never been that way because I've just always been a loner person. If the whole app hated me, I will come here by myself every day and play my music and do what I got to do. And ain't nobody going to say nothing or do nothing. It's just not going to happen, you know? Tico, good to see you.
Yeah. That's one thing that this app actually did teach me. I was very, believe it or not, shy and quiet when I first got on this app. I was afraid to be who I am, which we all now know is loud and crazy. Sorry. I hid that. I coddled other people's feelings, so I lessened who I was. And I'm sorry, but I'm gonna keep shining bright. I'm no longer dimming my light because I don't fit your decor, right?
Narrative. It's you don't fit their narrative, and that's what pisses people off. Is that when you be yourself, people want to run the way you show up in life, the way you look, the way you act. And it's like, no, you just okay. And the biggest part about that with especially this app is the diamonds. When people send you a lot of diamonds, they feel like they own you. They feel like they control you. And it's like, no,
nope.
You like what I'm doing and I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, but you might get it. You might get it because that's just who I am. So that was the first thing that I did was I just cut out all the stress in my life. The second thing I started doing, because remember, I'm still going my prep, right? At this time, this was January. I started sleeping more. Anytime I felt tired because my body, right? So this is where we start to get into problems between the mind and the body. The mind is like, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's not time to sleep. The body is like, I am fighting cancer right now. Sleep allows me to do what I got to do because I'm not looking at a screen. I'm not eating. I'm not typing. I'm focusing all my energy on me. So I want to sleep. And I've been noticing I've developed a pattern now. It's like without fail, every day at 5 o'clock, I need to take a nap. Because remember, I stream at night, I work during the day. So that between 5 to 7, 5:30 to 7:30, I always take a nap. And it's usually about 2.5 hours. And I wake up so refreshed and I feel so great. I come on here, I do my little night stream. I get off usually around midnight. I'm in the bed by 1, 2, and I'm sleeping again till like 8, 9 in the morning, right? My whole schedule has changed now. It's whenever I want to sleep, I sleep. If I come on here and I'm streaming and I don't feel like doing it anymore, I just get off. I kick everybody out the box. I was like, I got to go. I'm tired. But I would never do that because like Lily said, right? We didn't want to piss off people. We wanted to be like, oh, they're all having a great conversation and you know, people are gifting or people are chatting or whatever the case may be. And we want to stay on because we want to please people. No, I'm fighting cancer right now. I need to please myself, right? So that was the second thing that I did is I started sleeping more. And in the sleep, a lot of people just think sleep is sleep. I'm missing out, right? Fear of missing out, FOMO. But in the sleep, one thing I've noticed that's changed for me is I'm more calmer because I feel rested. That's why I actually was running late to the show because I was up till 2. You know, I had to do 2 shows back to back last night. We're contest grinding. I'll talk a little bit about that after at the end of the show. And I went to bed around 2. So I slept in. My man let me sleep in. And, you know, I came here. I told Lily, I was very honest with her. I was like, hey, I'm running late. I just woke up. And she's like, don't worry, I got you. But that is another part of all of this is being in true transparency and true authenticity, right? I can do so much. I'm a Capricorn. How many of you know about Capricorns, right? Yeah, because
too many of y'all are in my life.
You're a Taurus, right?
I'm a Cancer.
Okay, we're opposite. We're opposing, but we're on the same. We're the whole thing about home, family, relationships. Like it's our thing, our theme for our life, right? And as a Capricorn, we can work. Like we can outwork everybody. I can have 5 jobs and I can still be fine. But I've learned in my Cancer journey that is not always okay. Right. You know, that is not always okay. You have to slow down. You have to listen to your body. So where I'm at with it now is they did the scans and everything. Thankfully, it has not spread throughout my body, but they're concerned about something they found on my pancreas, which I don't think it's anything. I'm gonna just say that right now. I'm very much about positive thoughts and stuff. I think it's diverticulitis, which is what my dad has, and I have digestion issues. So I'm gonna put that out to the universe. But also, I have the gene. I have the BRCA2 gene, which means that I will always be susceptible to cancer. I'll tell you guys something. The way you receive news is also part of your health. This whole journey, I'm gonna tell you guys this, as now being the person with breast cancer, this medical team, this medical care in this country, I don't know about Canada, I don't know about Europe, but here in this country, it is set up to just give you anxiety. And you really have to fight for your rights, and you really have to know what you know. And a lot of times the medical staff, if you don't get the right staff, they'll try to impede on that. And they'll try to say like, well, I know better because I'm a doctor. Thankfully, I have a doctor who understands that nobody knows my body better than me. So when he said, okay, you have cancer, I was like, okay. In my immediate head, I was like, well, I want to have a lumpectomy, which is, that is where you just remove the tissue off of the breast. You save your breast. And then after that, you go into radiation for a couple of weeks. And then after that, you're on a pill for 10 years. It's called tamoxifen, right? That was the route I wanted to go.
10 years?
Yeah, it's like a estrogen pill, something. I don't know. Still learning all this stuff. But from all the testing that came back, if I did not have the gene, that would have been the route. However, when I found out on Monday, just this Monday, that I have the gene, I was pretty positive for 21 days. And I know because I'm doing a daily vlog on my Instagram and my TikTok. I've been vlogging every day about this journey. And on the 21st day, 3 weeks later, I found out that I have the gene. I finally fell into depression this week. So there was 2 days, which I think it was the Tuesday and the Wednesday. I was just in a real deep depression and I was struggling. That was the first time since finding out I have cancer that I've been struggling. And what I did was I came off of here because again, sometimes they hate the negativity. I just can't, you know? So I came off of here. I started watching my favorite shows. I started making food that was nourishing to me, home cooked food. I started sleeping more. And I really just took a time out from life and just really sat with myself. And I asked the most important question I feel at this time. And I think a lot of people don't want to ask it because they just don't want to hear the answer. Yeah. But the question I asked myself, I said, Uma, are you ready to die? And I had to sit with that because I have kids. And I really explored the idea of I could die and I could not be here anymore. And I allowed myself to feel that, what that would feel like. And I felt all the emotions. I felt fear of the unknown. I felt sadness at leaving my loved ones, my children. I felt incomplete because as many things as I've accomplished in my life, I still haven't accomplished all that I wanted to accomplish. And then when I realized that I was having all those sad feelings, it made me realize, so then that means I'm not going to die. Do you guys follow that? I'm not going to die. You know why? Because your body is always talking to you. When you feel happy about something and light about something, your body likes that. That's your truth. When you feel sad or depressed about something, that means that's not your truth. That's a lie. And that's the body's way of telling you it's a lie. So in a way, I was glad I did that exercise because it showed me, oh, okay, I'm not dying from this. And I didn't need my doctor to tell me that. My body told me, you're feeling sad because that's not our truth. We're not dying from this. We're just readjusting from this. And once I got that in my head, I was able to make the decisions I needed to make. Now, when you have a gene, BRCA2 gene, they give you options. You could still go through with the lumpectomy, just removing the tissue. If I did that, I would have to get radiation. I would have to be on this pill for 10 years. And then every year, I would have to go to the hospital twice a year. Once for a mammogram and once for an MRI. And I'm claustrophobic. And just the idea of doing that for the rest of my life, I was like, I cannot. And I also didn't like that idea because to me, and you guys can, disagree with me on this, but as a healer, as a natural healer, my belief is the more you're around the hospital setting, all of that, the more it penetrates into your brain, and then you just kind of give in. Because that's what the doctor even said to me, which was surprising. He said, the biggest thing you need to do right now is be positive. He's like, studies have shown your thoughts affect this. And I was like, I already know. I'm a law of attraction coach. You ain't got to tell me twice, sir.
For sure.
You ain't got to tell me twice, sir. I've been telling you, okay? So
Yep.
I knew yesterday I met my surgeon because we had to discuss, after all the testing, we had to discuss what was going to be the way forward. I already knew, and I went in there and I made his life easy because it took Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of me sitting with my decision. And I knew I had to make this decision. I didn't want to make it, but I decided to make it. So when I went in there yesterday, he was trying to do all the talking and stuff. I was like, let me tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to have a double mastectomy. And I said, I'm okay with this now. I needed 3 days though to sit with this. Now for men in here, you guys might be like, why is she so emotional about this? It's just boobs. It's just tissue. For women, our breast is more than just tissue. It's the signal of life. It's motherhood.
It was my kids' first months of life. That's how they survived, was off my boobs.
Yeah. It's our intimacy with our partner, right? Because choosing to have a double mastectomy means I'm going to have implants, which is going to be fine. I'm going to still look the same, but I'm not going to feel the same. When I'm intimate with my partner, I'm not going to feel the same. I'm not going to feel anything.
Okay, but hear me out, Uma. I'm gonna put the light spin on this, right? At our age, I wouldn't be mad if they weren't so droopy.
Girl,
I'm sorry, I had to say it, but
because that was the silver lining for me. I am very excited about these being up here instead of down here. Okay.
Not the way you want to go about getting them, but
right.
On the upside, girl's gonna be rocking them tank tops, and we're all gonna be like, damn.
I already don't wear bras ever since the pandemic. I don't wear bras, so very excited about this turn of events. Okay, very excited. So my thing is that you have to, exactly what Lily did, you have to see the positive in all the negatives. That's very healthy. And I started telling people, I'm going to go meet my plastic surgeon. Even though it's my surgeon, I stopped talking about cancer, right? And I just started talking about, I'm going to go now. While I'm here, I saw the plastic surgeon call. I got to go make an appointment, to go pick up my boobs. And I'm getting excited about this because I can't focus on my reality of what's happening. But the reason why I went with a double mastectomy was I wanted to eliminate this fear for the rest of my life. Me having the BRCA2 gene means even if they cut off a piece of my boob, there is a 30 to 40% chance of me getting breast cancer again.
Okay.
So that's why I was like, I can't live like this. I'm also at risk for ovarian and pancreatic cancer, but we'll deal with that when we need to deal with that. Right now, we're focused on the boobies, and we're going to handle that. Once you get both of them removed, you don't have to do radiation. You don't have to get checkups anymore, mammograms and all of that. And there's a 95% chance you're not going to get breast cancer again. So that's why I decided.
To me, that right there is like the because nobody wants to go through it once, let alone multiple times. And I'd rather alter my appearance some, even if it's not in a positive way, than to not be here, And if you're looking at a 5% to a 40% chance, it's a no-brainer.
Exactly. And then here's the thing too, like at first I thought it was vain of me to want to get the implants, but now I'm realizing it's vain of me to try to keep my natural boobs because I'm not using them anymore. My kids are grown. I'm never going to breastfeed again, right?
Yeah, my man, check IG. Sorry.
Yeah. And my man is like, he don't care. Once, because I asked him, I was like, does it matter, to you? And he just looked at me and he said, are you going to live? He's like, that's the most important thing. Are you going to live? I couldn't care less. And I said, yeah, this would be the better option for me to live. And he said, well, then we're going to do that. So it was my vanity in wanting to save my natural tatas, right? Because they're mine and I want them to work and I want them to stay here. So I realized it was the less vain thing to do to actually just get rid of them and then to just keep it moving. And then there, you know what, too, guys, there's so much stigma about women and their bodies. Can we talk about that for a second? There's so much pressure on women to look away, to feel away, to be away. They're like, I look at the women who have um implants not because of cancer but just because they wanted it, and how harshly do we judge them, right? And in my mind I'm like, I'm going to be part of that group now. People are not going to know my story, that I have cancer and I have a cancer gene and I had to remove my tatas. And I'm not going to go around and when people are judging me and saying, oh, look at her with the implants, I'm not going to go around and say, well, you know, I had breast cancer. It's not their business, you know.
But I mean, at the end of the day, again, back to the beginning of the conversation, you know, if you didn't have them, they talk about how droopy they are, but now you have them, so now they're going to talk about how perky they are. You can't, it doesn't matter what you do, you know, you can't worry about what other people think, and you've got to do what's best for you and what you're most comfortable with, you know. And I think at the end of the day, ultimately you're responsible for your happiness and then making decisions about your body, and that's the way it is.
I agree. So that's my lessons I've learned, is that I need to honor my body more. I've always just been a workaholic, a happy workaholic, I say, because I'm a Capricorn. And I'm realizing now that being that workaholic is great, but what are you working for if you're not going to be around to enjoy it, right? So I can pump the brakes a little bit. I could take some days off. If I don't feel like coming to do something or whatnot, I can just say, no, I don't feel like doing it. I'm just going to listen to my body more. And my shout out to all women, once you start hitting your 40s and you have to get the mammogram every other year, please, please do it. I am so thankful mine was caught early, because I'm in the age range where I have to get a mammogram every other year. And I was keeping up with those appointments, and it was at the mammogram that something was caught. So don't be afraid. A lot of women are like, well, I don't want to do the mammogram because I'm afraid that they do find something. Let me tell you something right now. It is the best thing for them to find it, because once they find it, they can eradicate it. And by the way, guys, there's so many people in the world getting cancer. Do you know that by 2030, it is predicted that 1 in 2 people will have cancer? Right now, it is 1 in 8. But by 2030, it's going to be 1 in 2. So do your screening. And if I could suggest anything to anybody, I would say ask your doctor to get a genetic testing done, because the genetic testing will let you know if you have the gene for it. I've met women on this journey who didn't even have cancer, but once they found out they had the gene for it, they went ahead and got their double mastectomy.
That's crazy. So I guess for me, I'm so anti-doctors. Like, I don't know anything about any of this genetics and genes, and I guess maybe because I don't wanna. It's all scary.
I know, but do it.
I gotta go in and
because you don't want it to be the part where you're not doing the mammograms and now you feel a lump and it hurts and you go in and you're like stage 4. You don't want that. You want them to be like, okay, when they first diagnosed me, they were like, okay, we think it's stage 2 or stage 3. And I wasn't listening to the words. I was like, you know what I did, guys? And I'm gonna tell you all this, and I should tell you all this. But when you go in and you get results, your doctors send you results by email, but it's a lot of medical jargon. I copy pasted it into ChatGPT, and I said, you're my doctor. I don't understand this. Explain this in layman terms. And I'm so glad I did that, because I knew before the doctors told me. And I'm so glad, because the doctors always put like a little bit of a scary spin on things, but they do that to let you know how serious this is, right? And ChatGPT was like, oh, they're probably going to tell you this is early stage, like 1 or 2. ChatGPT was like, oh, this is 1.3 centimeters. That's not that big. Like, it really calmed me down. And then when I went to meet the doctor, they were saying exactly everything. I knew before the doctors met with me that my scans were clear, that it did not travel to the lymph nodes, that is the most important thing. It does not get in your lymph. Like, I learned so much by educating myself. So whoever is out there, if you're going through a journey, educate yourself, because you're going to be your biggest advocate.
Definitely. And just, just your body better than anybody else. And it's, I tell my kid's doctor too, like, I know my kid, like, you're not, I have gone rounds and rounds with doctors, and I'll tell you, I took her, my daughter, when she was 1, I took her to one hospital multiple times, 3 times in 24 hours, and they sent me home each time. I knew something was wrong, so I took her to a different hospital. I wasn't at that hospital 15 minutes. They admitted her, had her hooked up to IVs. Here she had RSV. By the time I'd gotten her to that second hospital, she had become a complete limp noodle in my arm. It was terrifying. It was terrifying, but I kept telling them, I know something's wrong, and they kept telling me it's just a cold, she's fine. So like, we know our bodies and we know our kids.
Yeah, you do. And that's why it's so important that you guys need to trust your bodies more, because your bodies are here to help you guys. It's not here to fight against you. Sometimes people feel, oh, why can't I eat this food? That's your body protecting you. Why I want to go out with my friends, but I'm so tired. That's your body saying, no, this is not what you need to do. Like, listen to your bodies more. You don't need life coaches. You don't need therapists. Listen to your body. If you're in a relationship with somebody and you're getting all these sick ache feelings, that's your body saying, we don't need to be with this person. Like, really and truly listen to your bodies. Your bodies will get you through things.
Yeah, see, this is the part where I knew I was gonna regret it, because I know that something's wrong, and I've been neglecting it and denying it for a couple of years. But now there's things that I can't deny, so we gotta go get some biopsies and stuff too. I'm not really excited.
But listen, if you do, I will walk this journey with you hand by hand. I will give you my private phone number, and I will be there on call.
My papa had skin cancer, and the one spot, it's pretty similar. So I'm a little nervous.
I will hold your hand through and through. Go get it tested, go get it checked, because chances are it's going to come back and it's going to be negative. Because one thing I learned about cancer is you actually
I keep telling myself, you're a worrywart, stop, it's fine. But I also can't keep putting it off. I need a professional to tell me that.
And that's why you want the testing, because when you get tested, then it tells you either yes or no, and then you don't live in worry. Because the worry also stresses you out.
The worry is going to make me more sick than going and getting the actual answer.
Yeah. Because the worry stresses you, and then inflammation rises in the body. And then we know what we've learned is once you have a lot of inflammation in your body, your immune system is weakened. Yeah. So yes,
I've been sick the last 3 winters all winter. This winter is the worst.
Yeah.
But it's also the winter that I'm the most stressed, because I've got the most worries. You know what I mean? Like, before I just brushed everything off, like it's just this or it's that. But now it's kind of like, all right, well, I've got this, and then there's this, and then this. And it's just kind of like, all right, let's accept it. Let's just suck it up and go. But I haven't been to a doctor in probably 6 years.
Yeah. But okay, so we're gonna change the thought about that. All right, because this is what I do as a soul alignment coach. Okay, I'm gonna pretend I'm Lily, guys, and this is the things that's worrying her, right? So I'm gonna pretend I'm Lily. Okay, not going to the doctor in 6 years is not actually a bad thing. The pioneers had to do it. Lord, there was not even a doctor around for thousands of miles, and they survived the cold, harsh winters, and they did a lot more with a lot less. So I'm fine that I didn't see a doctor in 6 years. That's not a thing that I have to see a doctor every year. That's just a society thing. So that's not the problem. But the problem is that I do deep down feel that something's going on. Now, I like that. I like that my body's communicating with me. That tells me that it's still working. So that's awesome. That's great news for me. But my worry could be unfounded. My worry could be based on my fears and my anxieties. I'm going to accept that. There could be something there. It doesn't have to be extreme case. I can accept that. There could be nothing at all. And it was really just my worries creating things. Law of attraction, right? The more I think about it, the more I feel it. I can accept that. I can also accept the fact that there might be something there, because we live in such a great world with so much technology and so much research has been done about these topics, that even if something was found, it is not a death sentence like it used to be. In fact, that was actually what I said to my doctors when they first told me, you have cancer. They were surprised at how calm I was, because I said, well, I know you guys are going to fix me up and I know I'm going to be fine, because cancer is not the death sentence it used to be. And by the way, guys, there is different kinds of cancer, right? And the one that I have, it is the most common type. So even if, Lily, you do have cancer, which you probably don't, but even if you do have cancer, there's a very strong possibility that you may have the most common type of cancer, and it is highly treatable because they have so much experience with it.
Right. Yeah.
So
I mean, if it just, for me, the getting the worried is if I just keep putting this off like he did, that's how it spread and how it really got him, you know? And he and I are very much the same in like, unless we're on our deathbed, leave us alone, right? Like like my kid or my mom would have to come to drag me to the ER or something like that, even when I'm sick, right? Like I don't like going to the doctor. So, but I also know in this type of a situation, if I don't go get answers and it's like his path, I don't want to end up where he's at. Not yet.
I'm going to show you something. One of the handbooks of the healers is Louise Hay's Heal Your Body. This was a woman who beat ovarian cancer stage 4 and then lived to tell the tale until she was in her 90s. And she created a whole healer network in the world, right? Heal Your Body. In here, when you look up cancer, and I'm going to look up the symptoms that you're having, right? When you look up cancer, it
Tico,
says,
I thought you were leaving, so we're going to have to do next week because you had said you were going to go. Go ahead, Uma, sorry.
So when you look up cancer in here, it says, because Louise Hayes believes there's a deep emotional attachment to each wound that we have, right? So cancer is deep hurt, long-standing resentment, deep secret or grief eating away at the self. What's the use is the feeling of cancer. Immediately when I read that, I already knew. And this is why I say everything is connected. And I'm going to say something to guys that, you know, I don't want to shock anybody or anything, but I was essayed. You guys know what I mean when I say essayed, right? I was essayed at 8. And I can remember the person, my abuser, was fondling my chest area. And I remember not feeling good about that as an 8-year-old child. I didn't know much about my body. I didn't know much about anything. But I remember him touching my chest area at 8 years old. It made me feel sick, like nauseous.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is it. Now you're having what symptoms? Cold?
It's not that I wouldn't say I have a lot of symptoms. There's spots. I'm sick all the time. I just haven't felt myself for close to a year now, I'd say. I'm just off all the time.
Would you say like it's like an upper respiratory illness, the cold?
Well, that's what I thought it was, but it won't go away.
This one, okay, but she has something for that. This is too much going on at once, mental confusion, disorder, small hurts. I get 3 colds every winter type of belief.
And I'm sick all winter.
Yeah. So she has an affirmation. I'm going to give it to you. If anybody wants to write this down for Lily, okay. This is the affirmations is what you do to you say this on a daily basis. Like my affirmation for cancer, I say on a daily basis to kind of unwork the stuff that I have. So yours would be, I allow my mind to relax and be at peace. Clarity and harmony are within me and around me. All is well. And what I'll do is I'll drop that in the group chat so you can have it. You want to write it down. You want to put it up around your house. You want to say it like a mantra, because really and truly, you're having all these colds. According to healing, you're having all these colds because you have a lot going on, small hurts, right? They're anchoring and they're creating this thing.
Yeah, well, I'm an adult single mom. Of course life is hard. Like, of course.
I get it. Trust me, I
So,
get it.
so until my kid's out of high school, I'm gonna be sick all winter is what I'm hearing, and even then after.
Hopefully not. Hopefully not.
No, I have to laugh and giggle because I'm uncomfortable. Which that's how I am. I make light of things when I don't know how to feel. So I apologize for that because it's not always the best way to take situations, but it's nerve-wracking, and for some reason I thought that this was the way you were going to go with it, and I was like really not wanting to do it, but I'm glad we did.
And I'm going to be here for you, really and truly. I don't just say that for the stream. I say that because I do care about you. And if you need somebody to just talk to, especially as you go through your journey, I'm here, because I think like the thing is we got to stop, guys, as a collective, we got to stop caring so much about what other people see, think, feel about us. And we just got to really start tuning in. Right. I really live my life like I come on here with the feeling that the whole app hates me, and that's okay. I love me. So I couldn't care less who hates me. I love me.
I had one of the new girls at work. She come over, she goes, and she's real as hell, right? She's one of the most real people I've ever met. And she's a little bit younger. But she goes, "Why does everybody hate you so much?" And I said, "Because they're not as real as you are." And she looked at me and I said, "I'm the kind of person, I've been through enough that I'm going to call you out on your crap. If you're leaving the ice bin low, you're not restocking, you're not." I said, "I'm going to call you out, and I'm going to do it in front of the crowd." I said, "People don't like that. People don't like when you call them out on their bull crap." So like, I don't care if you like me. I'm not there to be your friend. I'm there to make money.
Right.
And part of making money is making sure a shift runs smoothly, which means the team needs to act like a team. If you take the last of something, you refill it. You know what I mean? If you can't do that, why are you here? You can't do the job.
Yeah.
And it's always the people who brag about how they're the best. Yeah, your tables might think so, but you do nothing to help anybody else out. You don't stock it, So I said, and I told her, I said, I call everybody out. I said, I have zero tolerance for these people's bullcrap. I said, you'll notice the people here who do their job, they do their job right, and they do their job well, have no problem with me. But the people who try to scapegoat, manipulate, and deceive, I said, they're all going to have a problem with me. And unfortunately, in this type of business, that's a lot of them.
That is
There's a lot of people in the restaurant business hooked on substances and they drink all the time, and that stuff kind of alters who you are, right? So, but I know that being in this industry, I have to deal with it.
Yeah, that's just what it is.
Mm-hmm. No, I don't care. I make good money, so I don't know what to tell you.
You're like, I couldn't care less. How do you sleep at night? I sleep well.
I sleep great lately. Like, I sleep better than when I used to let it roll off my shoulders, because I didn't. I'd come home, I'd be like, why do they treat me like this? Why do they act like that? This isn't fair. And now I'll be the first one. No, I don't think so. Take it in the back. Go get the ranch in the back. Fill it up. You're always so bossy, man. Do your job. Do your job. You're not the boss. No, we're equal. So act like it.
They should really give you a manager.
And they don't like that. They don't like any of that. So that's, and she laughed and she goes, well, I guess they're not going to like me either. And I said, good. And we fist bumped and went about our day, and we both made good money, So
but look at you manifesting her. Could you imagine if you keep on that drive and you manifest a whole team that's just like you? That'd be amazing.
It would be amazing. Well, okay. As long as we don't cycle up, it would be amazing. Because I can't imagine a whole room full of me those couple days a month. Like, there's no way. There's no way the restaurant would be destroyed.
That would be wild.
Oh my God. Y'all, it's the menopause phase. Like, I am perimenopause, whatever I'm in. Y'all, 1 minute life is good and we're fine, and the next minute nothing has changed. The same song could still be playing in the background, and I am bawling my eyes out for no freaking reason. And my kid will come around the corner and she'll be like, what's wrong? And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And I'm in full blown, tears are pouring down my face. I'm snotting, I'm drooling, and I don't know why. And then 10 minutes will pass, and I'll be like, well, all right, I feel better, and I'm fine. It's stupid crazy. It's not fair that men don't have to go through this.
I know. That's why I think we're the superior race. We're the superior gender.
Absolutely. And I might not have said that before, but this going through this,
yeah,
we are far superior because no man could handle these emotional swings and not end up getting their butt whooped by their old lady.
Damn men.
Yeah, menopause, menstruation, all the things that women don't want to deal with begin with men. I'm just going to throw that out there. I'm just kidding, guys. Yeah. I do want a boyfriend one day. Maybe. I don't know. I say it out loud, but I don't know if I believe it yet.
You'll get one. You'll get one, but you're gonna get a really strong guy. You're gonna get a guy like my guy. He's not involved with the whatever everybody's doing or thinking or whatever. He's just stand on his own island, and he's gonna be a.
I'm on lumberjack. Me on lumberjack.
I can see that.
Cut some wood, make some fires. I got it. We got this.
Yeah, there's guys like that out there. They're just very hard to find because they stick to themselves, you know. They're not in the bars. They're not in the scouting.
Just like me. Ain't nobody gonna find me. I sit on my couch all night. Like, unless you're a repairman and you work for the apartment building, you're not gonna find me.
Yeah. But that's the beauty of fate, though. That's like the beauty of fate, because when I met my man, it's like he lived in a different state than me. We're in different circles, like different communities, different everything. But when something is meant to happen, it's going to happen. The only thing you need to do is just stay positive and trust that he's out there. That's what I did. I just trusted. I was like, I know that my perfect match is out there. I don't know how, when, why, where I'm going to meet him. That's not up to me. That's up to God. I'm just going to sit here and trust. And then it happens. It brings it together. Keep focusing on what you want.
Work. Patience I don't have.
That lumberjack, I could see that for you. So that's good. That
I'll stick with stability and travel. All right.
That's why your psychic friend is good sign when your psychic friend says, I could see that for you. Because I could see that for you, that lumberjack.
Before we wrap this up with me talking about you, you know what a king cake is?
No.
So Mardi Gras, they make, it's called the king cake. It's very sweet. It's very good though. But they take these little plastic babies and it's supposed to represent Jesus. Okay. And you take a piece of the cake, and if you get the baby Jesus, it means you're going to have good luck for the year.
Wow.
Okay. Never heard of this. Never. I just said, ooh, cake. And I went and took my butt a piece of cake. Ooh, it's 11. Thank God. I went and took my butt a piece of cake. And I go, and a baby butt is sticking out of my mouth. And I thought, well, that's really weird. So I pull this out, and it's this little baby. And my boss joked and was like, oh, it means you have to buy another cake. And I was like, cool, sweet. As long as you're not telling me that I'm getting knocked up, you know? And she laughed. And then because I didn't know what it meant at first, right? I was like, tell me this isn't me getting pregnant, because if so, I'm passing it to my baby sister. She's trying, I'm not, you know?
Right.
And they laughed. So then somebody else brought in a king cake. And again, there's like this much left. I go back, take a little sliver, take a bite. This time I have a whole baby in my mouth. So not only did I get one, but I got two baby Jesuses out of the king cake.
So my question.
So I'm really hoping this is my good year for stability and travel.
My question to you is, how many more king cake babies does the universe need to send you to tell you that everything is going to be okay, including these testings that you have to go through?
When I spit the second, it sounds so funny. When I spit the second baby out, I looked at the one girl that I work with. She's like my work wife, you know, and I was like, you've got to be kidding me. She's like, you got another one? And I was like, and it was, and I said to her, I said, it almost feels as if 1,000,000 pounds was just lifted off my shoulders. you
That's
know, and
probably
so
that doesn't really track well in today's Epstein files release culture.
that's how I was
A
like, this
dead
is
baby.
sounding so terrible, but y'all, it's a little baby plastic Jesus in the king cake, okay? That's I'm not part of that gross
That
stuff.
girl. Yeah, that's a rabbit hole. That whole thing is a rabbit hole.
Y'all, I've been watching some of the videos of some of the kids that come out of that. And part of me wanted to believe some of it was AI, but a lot of it was before AI was even a thing.
It's real. It's very,
And
very
it's
real.
so much detail from such young kids. There's no way that can be made up.
They're eating
Like
kids.
I can't.
They're eating kids. They're torturing kids. They're making snuff films about kids. It's crazy.
It's nuts.
Disgusting. It's disgusting.
That is a whole after. Well, if you want to stay talk about that after, we can. But let's wrap this show up. Uma, tell these folks when you stream, what your streams are kind of like in your shows, and if you have any other things coming up.
Yeah, I got big news, guys. Okay, so I have a featured show on Mondays at 5 p.m. called Uma's Lotus Lounge. You don't have to remember it. Just remember Mondays afternoons and look at the banner. And then, because it flashes across the banner. That's a great way to start your week with positive vibes. I stream sporadically because I'm on my breast cancer journey right now. So when I have energy, I come on here and I stream. And I like to have topics. So I usually come on with a topic for us to discuss. I like to talk a lot, as you guys can see. And sometimes it's open forum. You come to me with a question that you have, and then we toss it up and stuff. The only thing I ask is that you guys be respectful. We can agree to disagree, but you don't have to call people names and curse and stuff and all of that. I'm not with it anymore. I say anymore because my stream used to be that. But the biggest news is the app is going to have its first ever reality show in March. And this weekend is the contest grind for the top 60 people. And that's why when you see me right on here, hi, and you look at my name, you will see that little yellow button. I am in the running, guys. I am in the running. I made it to the top 60. My goal is to get to the top 4, to be on TV and to represent. I actually want to go on this show. In my application, I said I wanted to represent the over 40 crew. Because I feel like there's so many of us on here that are over 40. We're not with the shits. We're not with the toxic and nasty and the crazy. We actually are here for genuine connection, networking, and wanting to make genuine friendships. So I want to represent that group of people if I get picked. But there's only 4 spots, and we'll find out on Monday who's in the top 4. It's actually the running contest right now for the weekend. So all gifts are appreciated. Thank you guys in advance.
See, I would love to see you on that, but that whole, is it like they're going to follow you around your day-to-day life?
No, we go to Florida for a week and we live in a house, and it's like games. It's like a reality show game.
Okay, well that I probably could handle, but for me, I don't want nobody. I don't know. I don't think I do too many dumb things to want to have someone follow me around with a camera and record myself.
My life could be a TV show. I'm not gonna lie to you. A lot of people in my private life, they're like, you need to be on TV, because I'm just very weird like that. And I'm a Sag rising, so I kind of I say what I mean what I say. And yeah, I could have a TV show on me. But just for this purpose, I just feel like it would be good for me to go on there and really talk about the over 40 crew and talk about streams from the perspective of what I think it should be like. I think there's a lot of people on this app that need to go. The people that actually take joy in trolling people, that find it funny to put people down. I think we really need to do a big cleanup and get rid of all those people.
Yeah. I mean, not to mention, if y'all are in the comments and you're one of those people, just remember, the more negativity you spread, the more negativity that's coming your way, right? Yeah. I don't think you guys understand. When you go around and you act like a bonehead, your whole life is going to be bonehead to you. So you need to remember that what you get is what you give, right? So look in a mirror once in a while and remember that what goes around comes around.
And I used to do that, Joe. I used to only troll trolls because I felt like in a way I was giving it back to them. But I've come to realize over the years that people who troll have mental health issues. Because you don't, as a normal human being, you don't wake up in the morning and say, I want to go and make somebody's life miserable today. So me trying to like troll a troll is like pouring water through my hands and hoping to keep it. It's not going to work. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
not gonna work. They don't care because they're already trying to. That's what they want. They want that fight. They want that battle. They want you to argue with them. The best thing you can do is ignore it and eliminate, because the more involved you get in the negativity, again, the more negativity is going to come towards you. I've learned a long time ago, and it's kind of been her whole topic of conversation on being positive and staying on the, you know, the upbeat track. It's really is a huge deal.
It really is. And then like, but you know, you got to do that kind of life, like what me and Lily are talking about, guys. You have to understand that people are going to make their own stories about you, and they're going to spread those stories like wildfire. Like for instance, I've been called so many times to streams. Oh, Uma, they're talking about you. You need to defend yourself. And I'm like, no, absolutely not. If they want to talk to me, they can come to my stream and they can talk to me in my stream, and they can talk to me in a polite, civil way. If you're going to come in my box and start yelling insults at me, I'm going to kick you out my stream. Right? Because if I got to teach you how to be an adult, I'm going to teach you how to be an adult. But the thing is like people are going to run to, oh, she's too afraid to come to my stream. Oh, she's too afraid to face me. No, if you know me, you know, no. But you also know that I just don't, I'm fighting breast cancer. Like I don't have any sort of energy for any of that. You understand? Yeah.
Yep. So check out her show. If y'all have some videos to watch some videos. Throw the points at her. Let's see if we can get her on the show to support us old folks.
Thank you for having me, Lily. I gotta go stream now because you know I'm in the contest grind. But I love you with all my heart, and thank you for having me. I always enjoy coming here.
Thank you.
Bye,
Uma,
guys.
thank you so much. Best of luck, and I'm always here if you need to reach out.
Thank you.
Bye. All right, guys. Well, that wraps up this show. We'll hang out for a little bit after. However, I'm super duper glitchy. So maybe whoever's holding the hearts, let's stop that and see if that helps. Because if it's glitchy like this, I won't stay on. But guys, Uma, that was awesome. We meet here every Friday from 10 to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.